Welcome to Vegan Ultra. I'm your inspiration guide, Adam Gallus, on this epic quest for health, hope, and happiness, in which I lose 150 pounds in 1 year on a whole food vegan diet while walking 2 marathons a week, every week for an entire year, 2,700 miles effectively across the entire United States, to prove to myself, my family, and anyone watching on YouTube we can all become ultra athletes and the healthiest, happiest versions of ourselves if we are consistent, committed, and powered by plants. I've lost 85 pounds in 4 months already and reversed my diabetes. And today I want to share with you the science-based magic about how I did that. Now, note, I am not giving any medical advice. It is very important to work with your doctor in how much medications you are taking when switching to a whole food vegan diet. This is not something you can do overnight and instantly quit all medications. That would be dangerous and reckless. I had medical supervision, and now these numbers you're about to see are completely with full diabetes reversal, completely off all medications. Now let me show you the science-based magic. So first, I want to do a shout out to my mother, who has turned into an incredible vegan cook, even though she's not vegan, and she's a better cook than I am. Absolutely amazing vegan mushroom stew yesterday. Now, here is my current A1C. This is from a few weeks ago, November 1st blood test. My highest A1C was 8.2%, and a few weeks ago, before I went vegan, 144 fasting blood sugar, now around 80 to 90 each morning. Now, let me quickly show you. You can see here the benefits of a whole food vegan diet for the Seventh-day Adventists. Now remember, these are people who, for religious reasons, do not drink, do not smoke, exercise every day, but essentially they live a blue zone lifestyle. The only difference is some eat meat, some do not, some are vegetarian, and some are reductarian, flexitarian. And you can see the less meat you eat, the lower the diabetes, down to 2.9%. Notice 78% overall lower diabetes, 50% less type 2 diabetes, 75% less hypertension, 50% less heart disease, 15% lower all-cause mortality. Now, let me share with you something that is absolutely incredible. This to show you the power of this incredible blue zone whole food vegan diet to control blood sugar and essentially not just reverse diabetes, but give you what I call super anti-diabetes. Take a look at this. So this weekend on Saturday, I started out eating a delicious mini watermelon, 5.5 pounds, 750 calories, but look at that, almost 200 grams of carbs. Then, including my mother's incredible mushroom stew, I had about 1,500 calories. So this is an entire crock pot worth, about 10 bowls, with another 200 grams of carbs. Notice the fiber, absolutely incredible. Then I had an extra 3 pounds of fruit, apples and clementines. So in total, it was about 3,200 calories and about 650 grams of carbs, 475 grams of which were from fruit. Now, let me show you my blood sugar levels, which I decided to take during this meal specifically for this video. Now, this is 6 hours into my whole food vegan feast. This is before I started eating that extra 3 pounds of fruit. Now, for context, 2 hours after a meal, if your blood sugar is under 180, that's considered completely normal. Take a look at this. 108 after 6 hours of eating, including 5.5 pounds of watermelon and nearly 200 grams of carbs from my Meat Lovers vegan goulash. All right, so this is right after finishing the meal, including 3 pounds of fruit at the end. 105, it actually went down. All right, 2 hours after the meal. This is where under 180 is considered normal. 91. That is a healthy fasting blood sugar, and that's after pounding 650 grams of carbs. I was still digesting at this point. Blood sugar, the sugar was still going into my blood. This is absolutely incredible. So what is the science-based magic? How could someone diagnosed and clinically shown to be a diabetic at one point eat this much food, so many carbs, so much fruit and sugar and have such incredible blood sugar control? The answer is because sugar is not the problem. To give you another example, my father, who is about 30 pounds lighter than me and about 2% lower body fat, 22%, he also ate my mother's stew and immediately took his blood sugar 102. So remember that what causes diabetes is primarily insulin sensitivity triggered by fat building up in your muscle cells and your liver cells. And to show you why for that, we have here this study from Dr. Kaliova, who happens to work at Physicians Committee, a colleague of Dr. Bernard's. So they did a clinical study looking at the effects of a low-fat, whole-food vegan diet for months with a control group that just ate the regular diet, no changes. And here's what they found. One, they lost about 15 pounds or 1 pound a week. Awesome. But insulin sensitivity went way up, same as Predimed. That's a famous study in Europe on about 500,000 people. But notice here, hepatocellular lipid levels. This is fat in liver cells falling 34%. Fat in overall muscle cells down 10%. So there you have it. And the p-value less than 0.01, this means less than a 1 in 1,000 chance. This is due to random chance. Yes, this cuts the fat in your muscle cells, your liver cells. It raises your insulin sensitivity. And this is why basically this is such a wonderful treatment for diabetes, which even in 2012, according to the study, 14% of adults in the United States, 38% prediabetes, and this was 10 years ago, people. CDC estimates around 85% overweight and obese by 2050, and similar levels of diabetes, which is already costing us nearly over $200 billion per year directly at this point, over $600 billion by 2050. So some more studies about the benefits here. We're talking about, from Dr. Barnard, a randomized study, low-fat vegan diet versus the American Diabetes Association diet, basically more similar amounts of weight loss, slightly more decrease in hemoglobin A1C. But notice here, this is very interesting. Total cholesterol in the vegans dropping 20 points versus 7. And LDL cholesterol, the bad kind, the one that kills you, down 14 versus 3. So you might be wondering, okay, so Mediterranean diet, can I do that? That's about 90% plant-based. And certainly it is advisable. A lot of people in the blue zones live a Mediterranean style diet, and it's something my father is planning to move towards. Wonderful news. Every little bit helps. Well, here we have another study here. This is the Plant Med study from Dr. Bernard, with a randomized control crossover study, meaning they took basically 62 overweight people, put half on a whole food vegan diet, half on a Mediterranean diet. They were each trained by nutritionists who believed in each study. Then they each switched to the other diet. And what were the results? Well, the Mediterranean diet lost no weight. The vegans lost 6 kilos, about 14 pounds in 4 months. Again, a pound a week. This is with no exercise, well, no changes in exercise, no medications, and no calorie restriction. Losing a pound a week, essentially, and enjoying it. Similarly, if you look at the LDL cholesterol, 19-point decrease for the vegans, 15 for the Mediterranean, and systolic blood pressure falling for both. But overall, cholesterol falling more for the vegans, insulin sensitivity also rising more for the vegans, and the weight loss was much, much better. So as long as you care about your cholesterol and heart disease risk, your diabetes, and losing weight, plant-based vegan diet is optimal. So thank you for joining me. I hope I have shared with you some truly inspiring facts here about how a whole food vegan diet can completely reverse type 2 diabetes. Remember, you have to work with your doctor. This is powerful, powerful stuff. You can't just overnight at obese and an uncontrolled diabetic, eat this much fruit and be okay. This is after I've completely reversed my diabetes. This is why my doctor calls this science-based magic and nutrition-fueled sorcery, because this truly does completely reverse one of the leading causes of chronic disease in the Western world. Thank you so much for joining me. Please subscribe to this channel, like this video to help other people find it on YouTube, and consider friending me on Facebook, where I have a lot more incredible information about a Blue Zone vegan diet, including my favorite recipes that have helped me to lose 85 pounds in 4 months while becoming the Captain America version of myself. And of course, this is a gift that nature gives all of us. And any one of us can become the healthiest, happiest version of ourselves if we just give it